All right, without further ado, I will pass it over to our hosts, Andrew and Dave.
All right, thank you very much, Dominique. So thank you for joining us all today. We're going to get kicked off with just discussing this whole concept of the dollar store, right? So we've got Family Dollar and Dollar Tree, which are like left and right Twix, but actually sort of different, and then Dollar General. So if we look at dollar stores across the U.S., this is a map of where everything is. So it's a roughly $90 billion industry that these three brands, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, and Dollar General, they make up about 70% of that market.
How many Dollar Tree and Family Dollars are there?
So we've got 16,000 of the combo. So Dollar Tree and Family Dollar are one entity.
Yep.
And there's 16,000.
And to get this out of the way, they are a merged company of two brands. And what happened?
What happened? They merged.
Yes.
But Dollar Tree bought Family Dollar.
Right, and they're basically number 2 and 3 said how
Trying
can we
to be
get
number
close to
one.
number 1.
Yeah.
And number 1, of course, is Dollar General, and so they said, well, let's just merge, and they did that. And so there's about roughly 8,000 Dollar Trees now and 8,000 Family Dollars, which total count is 16,000, but they're still trailing Dollar General by a little bit. Dollar General is at 17,000 right now.
Yeah, and just because they all merged together, you can see the different footprints. If you kind of, what are those dot charts that you're looking at? Like you stare at them long enough, a picture emerges. That's not going to happen here.
Yeah.
But
A heat map. It's called a heat map, I think.
I know, but the dot maps are more entertaining to look at. We've got Dollar Tree in California and based in the Northeast, right? So the green dots, California, the Northeast, whereas Family Dollar, you kind of see a big concentration around like the West Virginia mark there. You can see the most density in that area, but they're really Mississippi to the east.
Yeah.
And
If you
then-
look throughout the Midwest, though, you can see a big
Yeah,
line
they're
of
just
Family Dollars.
A little more dispersed out there.
Yeah.
And then Dollar General is just kind of covering the East Coast.
Covering is an understatement, but yes.
Like it's almost fully blue there.
Yeah.
So what do we like about dollar stores and the economics of these things in general? So as early as 2005, so 15, 16 years ago, these brands were doing about $11 billion in annual sales. And as you see this ramping up, we've had this in presentation we did just on Dollar General, where we see continual revenue growth, right? It's like they're opening 1,000 stores a year and they're just continually growing revenue.
Yes.
Here, we look at like 2015 when we had the merger.
And Dollar Tree and Family Dollar right now, they're scheduled to open up about 600 stores this year too. So they're also in a pretty large growth mode too.
Yeah.
And they're also renovating stores, which is also.
Yeah, so they're very much the market segment for this brand of shopping experience just continues to grow. So now 2021, they're at about $60 billion in sales out of these dollar stores within their footprints of these three brands.
So in 15 years, they have tripled their size.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tripled the market.
So the economics of this is like, how are these things making money? Who kind of shops here and how are they doing? When we see, it's that kind of a question of like, hey, why don't we just all go to Costco? Right? Like, why not just go to Costco and spend $1,000?
It's a very big demographics question of who does Costco cater to, who does Walmart cater to, who does Target, and who does Dollar Tree cater to. So when you go to Costco, do you spend $20?
I try not go, but
yeah,
that's a different. Maybe we're doing a Costco presentation soon. But
oh,
Costco, most of the time, if you go to a place like Costco, you're spending a lot of money to be able to drive down your price per item as low as possible.
And you're also shopping infrequently too. So you're doing more shopping infrequently.
We see on here like a Sharpie pen at the Dollar Tree that costs $1. So Dollar Tree strategy is everything costs $1 at Dollar Tree. Whereas at Costco, the Sharpie pen's only 56 cents, but you have to buy 100 of them.
So it's 1,000.
Or 1,000 of them. You're leaving with the largest box of Sharpie pens ever.
A crate of Sharpie pens
Yes.
sometimes. Yes.
So people, if they're going to Dollar Tree, they're more like, I have a few dollars to spend and I need to get a Sharpie marker. Whereas Costco, people are more prioritizing that price per item, and they're willing to spend $56 or $560 for a crate of Sharpie pens because they really want to pay 56 cents for them.
Well, also really what's important too is that Sharpie pen that Costco sells and Dollar Tree sells. The individual pen roughly costs about the same, but if you look at the margin that each is making, Dollar Tree is making a bigger margin on the same products. Even though they're selling less of it, their margin is a lot higher, which means the profit margin at Dollar Tree is going to be very different than the profit margin at Costco.
The profit margins at Costco are around 3%, but Dollar Tree is 30%.
And I wonder how they survive on a 3% margin. But
Well, they sell lots of crates of
lots of
everything.
stuff. Yeah.
So the Dollar Tree, this is specifically Dollar Tree in this chart, but this relates to Family Dollar and Dollar General. It's the same strategy. Their price per unit is higher than everywhere you're going. Costco is the cheapest, and you've got Walmart and Target in there that are the in between. With you can put Sam's Club. Sam's Club is a little more cheaper than Walmart on a price per unit.
Isn't Sam's roughly just what Costco is?
They're almost the same.
Okay.
So if we look at, now we take these two brands. So we've got the combo. They're actually opening combo stores, which is intriguing. But we've got the Family Dollar, Dollar Tree combo, and then you've got the Dollar General brand. So you've got two, roughly $60 billion. So between all of these, we mentioned this. We've got about 1,000 stores that are open on the Dollar General side, 600 on the Family Dollar, Dollar Tree side, and then units, 17,000 units.
And I want you to pay attention to a couple of really important points on the slide too, that cash on hand is how these businesses survive. It's how they survive during a good time and a bad time. And so roughly right now, I would have not expected this, but Family Dollar, Dollar Tree actually has more cash on hand than Dollar General, which I did not expect until I did this research, which is interesting. So it's in a really good shape for growth. It's also in a really good shape to weather a storm. Whatever else comes up next, I guess, we had a pandemic last year.
I feel like you made it through 2020 into 2021. You're probably doing okay.
And what's also important is both of these stores are investing in their shopping experience. So both of them want to make the experience of walking in the door a pleasant experience, and they want to make it a quick experience too. So the ticket item of a Walmart is probably going to be a little bit higher than the ticket item of a Dollar General. So they want to make that 5-minute shop. I think we talked about when you park in the Walmart parking lot and you walk 10 minutes to the front door, and then you walk another 10 minutes to get your toothpaste. It kind of gets a little old sometimes.
Yeah, it's a very different, but even within these three brands, like they have slightly different go-to-market strategies. Where Dollar Tree, everything is specifically $1. So if you buy 5 things, you will spend $5 at a Dollar Tree. Dollar General is not that set dollar. It's more of a things are cheaper store, but they have something, a pack of 5 that costs $5. So in theory, you're getting 5 for $5. And Family Dollar is in between them.
And the footprint of the both stores was also interesting too, where Family Dollar, Dollar Tree has about 190,000 employees, and Dollar General is roughly at 140,000 employees. So that's a pretty big footprint of resources to manage.
Resources per store is much lower at Dollar General than at the Dollar Tree.
And I think that's one of the reasons that Family Dollar is trying to make the experience better. And so the only way you make the experience better is to actually have more people in the store.
So, all right, so that's kind of a comparison